In 2186, the Battle of Earth commences, and Shepard and the galaxy are tasked with one last stand against the old machines, the Reapers, a species that seems indifferent to their stories, their pain, their hopes and will to survive. To them, this delayed cycle was a blip in the grand scheme of things. To their solution, just another harvest, another cycle. And the synthetics and the organics understand this all too well. So they stand united. And for them, defeat is not an option, because defeat is annihilation. So despite odds, they choose to defy. So the battle commences.
Wake up. Wake up.
A battered shepherd wakes up at the crucible, and he's tasked with making a move. The right move. The best move. He's presented with three options. Three options. Three options. Three options. Three options. But the truth is, ultimately he's presented with none. Just one outcome remains. Because the child doesn't seek to be controlled, and neither does any Reaper. And this is based solely on the idea that the Reapers are more than just machines, but sentient emotions that they've shown throughout this trilogy. So if the Get and Edie are the same as you and I, and the Reapers are the same as the Get and Edie, then you could technically answer this question for them. Would you accept being controlled? To be enslaved? Would you accept to be destroyed? Is that an option for you? Are those options that you consider? The destroy ending isn't even there. It's one Shepard can seek. From a conversational point of view with a catalyst, he could figure this out, but that's a bit of a stretch. He's not that special. You're not that special. He's dealing with an entity that has engaged with thousands of species. Paragon or Renegade, it's just not going to work. The same result is given. Rejection. So I ask you again, would you choose to be destroyed? The core function of the Reapers to stop this organic versus synthetic situation is there, but it's involved beyond that. So synthesis doesn't work because it never eradicates conflict. It replaces titles, which doesn't change the outcome of the galaxy. Just focusing on the machine versus organic issue isn't really enough. It doesn't tell the full story. If I discriminate against the Geth because of what they are, what makes you think I won't because of what they look like? Isn't that the story of conflict between organics? Isn't that what we do already on this planet? Was it not two organics engaged in the First Contact War? Was it not two organics that were involved in the Krogan rebellions? The Rachni Wars? Do you fear pre-Genophage Krogan bent on galaxy domination more than the Get? Are the Quarians and the Get really the example of organics versus synthetics? Or is this a battle over land? Now, where have I heard that before? Where have I seen that before? Don't let your mind wander too much. Focus on this story. You see, I'm leaving synthesis at the door because it's small-scale thinking. Unless, of course, something changes at the mind level. But still, with that said, why would the Reapers want to fuse with you? What makes organics special? What makes you special? Those three options are not viable whatsoever. In the context of what I've just said, they don't make sense. So we move on. So what really happens? It's simple. The cycle continues. The cycle continues. The reason why we're here in the first place is due to multiple interventions and chance. And the first one in the context of Mass Effect happened 1 billion years ago, when this species called the Leviathans chose to seek an organic versus synthetic solution, resulting in the first Reaper, Harbinger. The Fermi paradox states any life form with modest amount of technology should have colonized the galaxy in the span of 10 million years. But that's not the case in this universe, and we know why. Because if it wasn't for the Reapers, these guys would have been our issue. The Densorian, Inusana, the Proteans. Because we know firsthand what migration does to the inhabitants of a land, to the biome. Can you imagine what a different species would do to the ecosystem? Can you imagine what an alien species would do to the ecosystem? Can you imagine if our earliest ancestors was seen as game? We know how the Proteans viewed the Solarians, and if the Proteans had uplifted us earlier, then we would have been subject to the cycle. It's all a matter of chance and game. It's all a matter of chance and game. It's all a matter of chance and game. So with no options and an understanding of the galaxy, when I look at it, or when Shepard looks at it from that angle, it's almost fitting. The cycle continues. We've played our part, like every other species that came before. So we pass the torch. It comes full circle. The cycle continues. But just because that happened doesn't mean this didn't happen. Because Mass Effect is ultimately a story of migration. It comes full circle. Because Mass Effect is ultimately a story about migration. The cycle continues. It comes full circle. The cycle continues.
If you are hearing this, then there is still hope. Hope that you can avoid the same mistakes we made. We fought the Reapers, but we failed to stop them. We did everything we could. We built the Crucible, but it didn't work. We fought as a united galaxy, but it wasn't enough. I only hope the information in this capsule is enough to help you before it's too late. My name is Dr. Liara Tassoni. Herein lies the recounting of our war with the Reapers.